motorbike, you know? It's pretty quick.
Perfect. We are live.
We are
Good evening. Good evening. Sounds good. Well, good evening. Happy Thursday. And for everybody, we don't have anybody currently listening, but for everybody listening to this afterwards, welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Wasim, and I'm joined by the lovely Shannon, all the way down from Nelson. And we're based up here in Auckland, streaming live. And thank you for joining us. I hope everybody's had an awesome day. It's in keeping warm. It's been freezing cold. So make sure you've got those heaters on and keep warm. It is pretty cold up here, so got to keep warm and active and talkative. Alrighty, now let's do some introductions before we start. So, Shannon, tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself, please.
Kia ora, cheers, Wasim. And I see we do have a viewer who's joined us, so kia ora. I'm sure some of you know, and for those that don't, I'm Shannon. I'm head nurse with the Cannabis Clinic. It's a pleasure to be here today and hold this live session. Really a space for us to connect, answer questions, provide feedback, because we're here to learn from our clients and for those that, use cannabis. I've been working for the Cannabis Clinic for almost 3 years now. And it's been a ride.
It has been a ride, hasn't it, Shannon?
Yeah, man, it has. Yeah. The industry is always changing. And then the whole other side of it is coming from, I guess, the biomedical world. So much to learn and so much that I didn't know about cannabis. So it's been a pleasure. And I'm very grateful to be part of this community and part of this clinic. It's been a wicked opportunity and a sweet ride. So Wasim, what got you into the industry yourself?
Before I get into it, it is like a community, Shannon, isn't it? You mentioned community. That's what it feels like. It's like a movement, a community of like-minded people. Is that how you feel about it? Is that how you see it?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I mean, it's changed over time, right? From being this viewed as a recreational drug and a drug at that to the space that we now are able to be in, where it's viewed as the medicine that it always has been. And the community that's come with that's holding that kaupapa, that space to utilize the plant as medicine is it's a wicked movement to be a part of, eh?
It's absolutely wicked. It's basically changing the frontier of how we view health and what we do, and it's like everybody is so inclusive. Well, that's what I've found in the community. Like, there's a lot of inclusion, there's a lot of forward thinking, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of just getting things out there and being open to change. I think it's really, really powerful. So it's a pleasure being part of this community, part of this movement. And for me, my name is Wasim, everybody. I'm a doctor by training. I started the Cannabis Clinic from scratch. We started in our living room, just doing what we do, with the belief that we can make an impact, we can make a difference, we can make a change. And the reason why I got into it was because my training was an accident in emergency medicine, and I was just dishing out prescriptions and writing scripts and handing out so many, doing all that, and just wasn't rewarding. And I thought, man, there's got to be more to be able to give back to people, to the community, to healthcare. And then people started telling me about their experiences with trying to get access to cannabis from their GP. I'm sure you've probably heard this a lot, Shannon, in terms of people that we see, but absolutely. I couldn't believe it. Like, people being told, no, I can't help you, or I'm not going to prescribe it for you, or just the lack of understanding. And I thought, holy moly, are these people for real? Like, is it that hard to talk to your doctor about cannabis? And the reality is, yes, it was that hard. And that's what got me into this whole thing, and with the intention of giving back. Like, how do we help more people? How do we create this change? Healthcare's got to be forward thinking. We've got to be forward thinking as a community, as people. And that's what's gotten me into it. And oh man, we've had our highs and we've had our lows, legal highs and lows. I might add, in terms of just doing what we're doing. And oh man, it's been certainly a journey. Kia ora, Judy. Thank you for joining in. Thanks for the love. Appreciate it. And thanks for the gifts. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're keeping warm. Alrighty. Shannon, should we get into it? Let's
we've actually just got a comment here. We're saying the furthest I've gotten with my GP is CBD oil, and I guess there's different classes to the medicines that we have here. CBD and THC ranges, and it's crazy, right? That the stigmatization that varies depending on that class, and also the lack of knowledge and education about the difference between CBD and THC. So I just think that it's a really interesting comment there, because it can be really difficult to go to your GP and have that conversation about, whether you're self-medicating and you want to do it legally, and all you hit is a wall at times. It's definitely difficult for those that want the access to it, right?
Yeah. What's the craziest story you've heard from people, Shannon? Can you remember anything that this triggers for you?
I can actually. It's
can you say it?
I can,
or is it non-PC?
No, I can say this, and without breaching privacy or anything like that. The situation was, they came to me and they said, CBD, I've been told by my GP, is highly addictive. It's a drug. It's got no benefits, and it's not going to help me at all, is what my GP says. And I said, just let's pause there. Are we talking about CBD or THC? And they said, CBD, this is what my GP told me, is that it's highly addictive and that it will make me crazy. And I couldn't believe that was the education that they'd received, or I guess the lack of education. And it was quite confronting to hear that was that patient's experience, because that's not non-biased, supportive, informed care. So I think that was the real one that stuck with me, eh? And you?
Yeah, it's crazy. For me, I've heard all sorts of things, but nothing specifically comes to mind exactly. I just want to see it being more, proactively understood and prescribed, and people like GPs and doctors to be more understanding that this is actually, guys, this is like a medicine, and it's so unique because it's plant-based. It comes directly from the plant. Like, let's embrace it. Stop resisting. And what you resist persists. So open up your heart, open up your mind, and let's embrace the change. And I saw that comment. Who made the comment about my hair? I appreciate it. Thank you so much. What is it, Sir Blazit? Thank you so much for that comment. I appreciate it. The green's on brand, representing the movement. What we stand for. I appreciate it. All righty. We've got Stefan saying, I found the medicine to be pricey, but fair. The expensive part for me is the consultation and prescriptions. Do you have any future plans for lowering cost? Thank you for the question, Stefan. I'm curious to understand, what you would consider to be affordable. I'd love to know what you think that is. Definitely price is a big thing for us. Like, we want to make our services and our products as accessible as possible. And we have lowered our prices over the last 6 months. And what we've also seen is product prices have come down considerably over the past few years. And for our flower products especially, we've seen that a lot of prescription flowers are roughly on par with the illicit market. And so the price difference is hopefully not too different, but very high quality, consistent, and reliable. And we're also in the process of producing products that are at a lower price point. We've recently introduced like a community services card discount. But I'm curious to know if you can please comment back, tell me what is the pricing from your end and how you feel about it, and what you'd like to see. I would be interested to hear about that. Yeah. All right, we've got Rowan, who says, you'll laugh about legal high. You laugh about legal highs, yet people can still be deemed to be illegally getting high despite it being the same thing. Growing at home should be legal if it is a legal medicine. The law is hypocrisy. Shannon, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I fully hear what you're saying, Rowan. So I mean, thanks for the comment. The difficult thing about the law is growing at home in an unregulated environment with no medical oversight versus a prescription medicine that comes from a doctor that has been grown in a regulated environment. They are two different realms. But I mean, what I'm hearing is that self-medicating is the same as getting a prescription and medicating. Those are the two that are really nice, really similar. But in terms of actually growing your own plant, which would be, I guess, in the eyes of the law, seen as criminal activity, versus getting a prescription medicine that's been quality tested and prescribed by an expert doctor, those are worlds apart from a medical legal point of view. But I hear you more so on that self-medication versus medicating. That's what we're here for, right? Is that if you're already self-medicating with black market cannabis, is we want you to be able to have a legal pathway to keep you safe, to get medicine that's tested, to be able to bounce off doctors and have those open conversations about the way that you are using cannabis. Because medicating with cannabis is medicating with cannabis, but there's a legal and a not so legal route, right?
Yeah, I resonate and I agree with what you're saying, Shannon. When I made that comment, what I meant was the challenges that we face, Rowan, in terms of bringing the service and bringing and actually doing what we're doing, because that also faces significant challenges. But I hear what you're saying in terms of the double standards of people growing at home and especially people using it as medicine, especially if they find it difficult from a medical point of view to be able to access it, whether it's cost or whatever reason. So I totally get it. It's not a perfect solution, that's for sure. All right, let's move on to the next question and comment. So Lee says, this medicinal cannabis regime and the ease of doing it through you guys was a revolution of sorts in New Zealand. Blew my mind coming back to this country after a few years and finding out about this. That is awesome, man. I appreciate that, Lee. I'm glad that you think that what we've done has been a revolution for you in terms of accessing products, man. I appreciate the support. That's what we set out to do, and that's what we're still doing. And I think we've got like so much more to give back to the community, so many more people to help. And I'm curious to know, like, what is from the community's point of view, where are the barriers? Where are we, where do we need to contribute more? Where do we need to be seen more? How do we give back and do more of what we're doing? So if anybody's got any questions or comments about it, please jump into the chat, comment, and I'd love to hear about it. All righty. Shannon, I'll drop this one to you to read out.
Beautiful. This is from Val. Thanks for joining, Val. We asked our GP for cannabis gummies at Te Korowai, but they won't prescribe them. And this is something that we do here, Val, and, it comes down to some doctors simply not feeling comfortable and, whether they don't have enough information about it in order to provide you supported care with a medicine that they don't understand fully. And that's okay. And that's what we're here for as specialists, as we've done the research, we've done the study, we've learned about the endocannabinoid system, which is what we have in our own bodies. And we've learnt about the medicines and specific disorders, so our doctors feel comfortable prescribing the range of medicines that we specialise in that are plant-based. So it's definitely, I hear you, and it's a common experience, and I'm sorry that is your experience. And I guess that's why we do what we do, is so that way people can have access to plant-based medicines.
We've got a similar comment there, Shannon, from Judy, lovely Judy. Maybe go through that one and address that one.
Judy has said, a patient told me once that they were told by a doctor that he wouldn't prescribe witchery. which is outrageous, right? That sort of comment. As health professionals, we're meant to be non-biased. That's part of our code of ethics. It's what goes through all of our studies. I know you would have experienced the same sort of conversation with Sam. But like I say, I think it comes down to the stigmatization, right, that's existed forever. Back in the 1970s and 80s, where they had propaganda on television calling it the devil's lettuce, and the reefer madness. And, there's a lot of people that are still feeding or allowing their point of view to be fed from these preconceptions across society that haven't yet shifted fully. And that includes, some of our health professionals as well. But that's what the power of education's here for. That's what we're here for. That's the mission we're on, we're saying.
Yeah, totally. It is a mission. And I've certainly experienced that stigma as well. Like, I know people experience it, and we're seen as the clinic, as because we were quite a big prescriber. We prescribe quite a bit of cannabis, but we've also seen it, and I've personally seen it on a personal level, like through how my own family and the people around me have responded to me being in this industry. And there certainly has been, stigma and judgment, and sometimes it's unspoken. When you get that unspoken vibe, or like that energy where people are like, oh, bro, like, really, like, go back, be a normal doctor, go be a proper doctor. What are you doing? And initially it used to really trigger me, to be honest, because it would be like, why can't people see it? Why can't people see the impact that we're having and actually believe in it? But I've now come to understand and realize that not everybody's ready to see it. Not everybody will see it, and people will continue to have their own judgments and their own versions of what they think. So yeah, it's been a personal journey for me, but on a personal level, like, personally, and also just through the clinic, because we run. So what we do, guys, just for FYI, for anybody who doesn't know what we do, we run Greenleaf Group, and we're the biggest prescriber and dispenser of cannabis in New Zealand. And we've got over 30 doctors in the clinic. We've got a pharmacy that specializes in dispensing of cannabis, and that's all we do, is just dispense cannabis, and we specialize in cannabis. And we've also got Florix, which is a supplement range, and that we manufacture and bring in. So yeah, that's what we do, and that's what we stand for. Alrighty, now is that Mitchell? Yes, Mitchell. Is there any plans to bring any other medicinal products under the community services card? Oh, I love this question. Community services card, because that's a new initiative we've done. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Absolutely. We love what we've done with community services cards. I'm assuming you asked that because you'd like to see more. My question to you is, what else? What other things do you want to see from us? What else can we be doing to help the community, to help people who need it? What do we need to be doing? So answer that for me from our end. Absolutely, man. We're going to be bringing in as many products as we can under the community services scheme to make it as accessible as we can. And I hope that lands well, and I hope that makes it easier for people out there. All righty, Shannon, over to you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sam. So Cameron has asked us, and shot for the question, Cameron, do you guys prescribe CBG and CBN? And if not, why, when they have massive benefits, in some cases more than CBD? So for context, for those that don't know what CBG and CBN are, they're the minor cannabinoids from the cannabis plant. We often only hear about or talk about the main compounds, CBD and THC, but in reality, they're a whole family unit, right? So there's the minor cannabinoids like CBG and CBN that hold their own medicinal value and properties for certain disorders. To be honest, Cameron, I can't say too much because of the Medicines Act and specific, range of medicines. But what I can say is there are some medicines available that do have these compounds, but the range is pretty limited in New Zealand. And I think we will see that improve over time. I think that it's just a matter of where the industry sits at now, with the focus being more so on the main compounds, CBD and THC. But we as the Cannabis Clinic, we do actually have some new medicines that have these minor compounds, and I expect us to see more come in as time goes as well, because it's really important to not just focus on those main compounds. My best analogy is you've got CBD, he's the good brother, and THC, sometimes the naughty brother. They're best when they're paired together. They keep each other in check. Now let's expand that further. We also want our cousins to be present, and our grandparents to be present, and that's our minor cannabinoids. And we're better together as a whānau or family unit. So definite recognition for the power of these minor cannabinoids, eh?
What a beautiful analogy, Shannon. I love that. And thank you for sharing that. Now we're getting quite a few comments. So what we're going to do is we're going to be going through our comments a little bit and just working through trying to respond as many people as we can. So we'll keep our answers nice and succinct. And also everybody on Instagram, we are having some difficulty seeing your comments, but we're seeing everything on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you guys want to add something or make any comments, please jump onto those platforms, because we can see what you're telling us. So please jump on there. Alrighty, Leah, with the new rollout of roadside drug testing, will that have medicinal users, those prescribed, unable to drive while using the flower? I'll drop that one on to you, Shannon. You take that one on.
Beautiful. So, hey, roadside drug testing is coming out, and I know it's a hot topic at the moment, and that's fair enough. The legislation's passed, and what it means for everybody that gets pulled up on the side of the road is that you'll have one saliva test. If that comes back as negative, then you have a second saliva test. If you fail the second saliva test, you have a stand down period of 12 hours from driving. Now, then, as a result of that, you will get sent paperwork, and there'll be a 50 demerit fine, and 50 demerits and a $200 fine, excuse me. But if you're a medicinal cannabis user and you have a prescription, you have a legal defense in court. Okay, so that is a legal defense because you're using a prescribed medicine. We always tell all of our patients not to drive under the influence of THC, heavy machinery, anything like that. So as long as you're using your flower or THC oils as prescribed, being, the night before, then in theory you shouldn't show up on saliva tests, but you may. And if you do, you have a legal defense. And that, if anyone was to try and refute that, it's actually seen as medical discrimination as well. So there is some safeguards there for our clients.
To try to make sure people are looked after. That's what we're here to do. So
exactly
it's yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, next comment we have Maya. Apologies, welcome. Apologies if I've mispronounced your name there. It's quite hard to afford both CBD and THC as a full-time student, also with the cost of other medication. That's the hardest for me. Oh man, I hear you on that one. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Look, cost is a big one for us. We do offer like interest-free payments through our pharmacy. So if that would help you to split it up, then that's an option that you can tap into. What we are doing is looking at different ways that we can reduce the costs and keep costs down. And yeah, we're doing our best there. It's a hard one to fully address and solve. Alrighty, we've got another comment from Haley Kiwi. Love the name. How much did it cost, or how much does it cost? Haley, it costs, depends on the product, but it's generally in the vicinity of about $200 a month. That's what it costs. But again, depends on the product. Our oils are between $100 and $200, usually last about a month. And our flower products are anywhere from 100, 120. Is that right, Shannon? Where did the flower products start from?
That's
about $100?
Yeah, ranges on the product. I think that the cheapest one, like you say, is 100, and then up to 150 from the top of my head. But it depends on the quantity as well that you're ordering. They come in varying sizes.
Yeah, so that kind of starting price point, and they're in 10, 15 grams. And that's where the prices start. But again, if you've got any comments or what makes affordable, like what is affordable, that will be helpful to know, because then we can know what the target is and where we need to push things for you guys. and for the community, because there's always going to be a cost associated with it. All right, Jeff, we've got Jeff. I order every 12 days. I have to then email you to get an invoice copy so I can be reimbursed from my employer. Any chance of getting it auto emailed to me, please? Jeff, can you email us? Can you put that in an email to us? It's interesting that your employer is paying for it. I have not heard that one before. So congrats to you, mate. I think that's a good position for you to be in. And we want to try and make it as easy as possible for you. So if you email us with just the breakdown of what we can do to help you, that would be super helpful. And hopefully we can help you out there, mate. And thank you for trusting us with your health there, mate. All right, we've got Sir Blazit. That sounds very posh. My GP was pretty open about it. He was like, I don't know enough about weed to prescribe it. Try talking to these guys. Hey, at least he was honest about it, eh, Shannon? He, at least he gave you an honest answer back in terms of, not knowing about it and actually not saying, no, don't do it, or it's bad for you, or etc. Thanks for sharing your story, man. I appreciate that. And we've got another comment here from Haley Kiwi. Do we have to go to the GP to be able to get your medicine? Shannon, do we need people to go to their GP?
Yeah, good question, Hayley. The reality of it is no, you don't need to go to your GP to be able to come to us. You don't need a referral. You can self-refer. In some cases, our doctors like a little bit of a health information background on you, so it's called a health summary. But again, you don't have to tell your GP why you're requesting an overview of your health summary, because it's your right to that information under the Privacy Act. So you can tell your GP, you don't have to tell your GP. And in some cases, we don't need that background information, and sometimes we do. It's just specific to that person. I guess while I've got this comment here, I'll roll with this as well from Marion. Hopefully I said that right. Where do you source your products? There's a variety of different suppliers. Some of it comes from Canada, some of it comes from Australia, New Zealand. So there's quite a few different suppliers that we get the medicine through. I think that's the main three. Is that right, Wasim? I think so. Australia, Canada, New Zealand.
Yeah, that's correct. Some of them from New Zealand, some of them imported. So it's a mixture. We love the New Zealand products, and some of the imported products are also really good. And it's about trying it and actually being prescribed what's right for you, and then going from there. All right, Sharon Sanders, welcome. Thank you for the comment. How do I manage my cannabis prescription while in hospital? Oh, that's a really good one. Look, it's like any other medicine. So you need to be able to use it, and it doesn't matter what anybody else in the hospital thinks. So put it aside. You prescribed it. It needs to be in your drug chart and needs to be prescribed, and you need to be able to use it in the way that it was prescribed, whether it's an oil, vaporized, inhaled. Don't be ashamed of it. We're here to support you. If you need anything, reach out to us, and managed in this exact same way. Dick Tracy, welcome. Thank you so much for the comment. There are different strengths of cannabis flower. Is it not better to use stronger flower and take less? Better for your lungs? That's a really good question. I'd like to think so. Yes, that is potentially better. Shannon, is that accurate? Would you agree with that statement, or do you see otherwise?
I think that there's two sides to it, right? In theory, the less you consume, the less impact it has on your lung health, right? So, I mean, that's true in nature, what's been said here. But I think the important thing to focus on is that the strength of the cannabis is not the most important aspect to your medicine. THC percentage is just one component. The cultivar or genetics or family tree is a really another important, has an important impact on the medicinal value and the way you receive it, alongside the essential oils or terpenes. Okay, they're found in all your whole flower cannabises. In fact, it's what gives them their aroma. Terpenes hold their own medicinal value as well. So I think there's more to it than just THC percentage. Because you can potentially use less by having the right strain rather than having a high potency strain and using less of it. So I think it's more case by case. And we've got another one here. Oh, sorry, Wasim.
That's all right. That's okay. I'll take this one. So we've got, I understand that under 25s need to take CBD oil with THC. Is there a possibility to add CBD to the supported access program? Being under 25 with chronic pain is hard to afford sometimes. Now, firstly, thanks so much for that comment. I think that's a really, really valuable comment. I love it. Thank you for the suggestion. Never thought about it. Never crossed my mind, but I'm going to take that forward and actually push that ahead to try and do it for you. So thank you for suggesting. I think it's a fantastic idea because yes, under 25s we do require CBD oil, and there's a complicated story behind it and all the medical and legal stuff. So thank you so much again for the suggestion. We'll take that on board and we will see it through to implementation. Alrighty, Cameron says, I think, I was told that I mispronounced a couple of names, so now I'm hesitant in saying names, so I'm going to do it anyway. So if I butcher your name, sorry about that. Cameron Dines asks, I think what we all want to see is the high-quality flower grown in New Zealand, not imported flower that has sometimes gone under remediation. I don't know what you mean by that last bit, but we're certainly seeing more and more New Zealand flower being grown. Yeah, heck yeah. We're seeing it, man. We're seeing more New Zealand flower being grown. There's local growers that are growing it. And I think we'll just see more and more products. And certainly as soon as we get our hands on some more of those products, we're going to be putting it out there and letting everybody know. Alrighty, Haley Kiwi. Oh, Haley, you are so active. Thank you for spicing the conversation up for us this evening. Do we have to see our GP about medicinal cannabis, or can we get it through you guys? Oh, like Shannon said, like Shannon addressed, you can come directly through to us. We're a one-stop shop, so we can help you right from start to end, and we can take care of the whole process for you. So all you need to do is jump onto our website, click the book now button, book your appointment, and we'll work with you through the rest of the process, or give us a call, 0800 CBD oil. Can't get any more, any easier than that, 0800 CBD oil. Talk to us and we can book you in, and one of our lovely team members can help sort you out. No judgment, no stigma. We're here. We believe in what we're doing. We believe in what you believe, and we're on the same page. Bernadette says, will you lower the price on the CBD oil for community card users? So that's coming up twice. Clearly, people are interested in affordable CBD oil. Have you ever thought about that, Shannon? Did that ever cross your mind?
It's a good question, Sam. I don't think that I'm totally honest. I thought about it in relation to the community services card or the supported access program, but definitely I know there's a need for reduced CBD costs because I've got patients that are going for a green standard oil through the GP, which is synthetically made, and it's just not the same thing, but it's because it's cheaper. So there's a real need for it. I mean, accessibility is everything, right? We've got a wee question here from Duke Smith. Holly, I have a question about CBD rich or one-to-one flower options. I know there are not many in New Zealand, plenty of THC options available. Are there plans for more in the future that you know of? So again, without breaching the Medicines Act, I'm obviously got to keep my certificate. That would be nice. What I can say is that there are balanced ratio flowers in the market, but it's very limited, full acknowledgement of that. I know that the suppliers have a hard time keeping the cultivar stable when it's CBD and THC are both present. But there's a real need for it. Us as clinicians, we're pushing for that because balance is key, right?
Nice, Shannon. All right, we're ready for the next comment. So the next one is from Cameron again. Hello again, Cameron. When are we going to see vape pens in this country under prescription? Good question, man. Good question. As soon as it's registered and it's made available, like we'd like to see it yesterday. We'd like to see it available yesterday. We know that they're in the pipeline, though, Cameron. They're in the pipeline. It's to do with like all the legislation in terms of not allowing it to happen. But I think with everybody pushing in the industry and making it happen, that we're getting closer and closer. So I think very soon, watch this space, man. Watch the space. Stefan says, I would classify myself as a low tolerance user. So between the use of my prescription, I have to pay for a follow-up consultation without me using my repeats. Good question, Stefan. Yeah. So what I'm interested to know from you, mate, is if you have ongoing repeats, then you should still be able to get it from the pharmacy. And if you're coming through to our pharmacy, then we can still dispense it for you. You're all good. But if you are not using your product and you haven't been seen for a while, there is some obligation from our point of view of needing to see you. I would encourage you to talk to the doctor that you're seeing about it, because we can stretch it out for you, man. So Stefan, if you're finding that that you're stable and you're not using much, and every 6 months is all good, then please tell your doctor so we can document it, so that we don't have to bug you with these follow-up appointments. I know it's a pain. I know it's a pain in the butt with these follow-ups, and especially if you're stable. We are revamping a lot of our systems to try and improve that as well. Go on, Shannon.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I might just add to that for a little bit of clarity, knowing how the scripts work. So controlled drug scripts are only valid for 90 days at the moment that they're dispensed from. And I think that's the issue that you're encountering, is that you get your medicine after your consult, and then the 90-day clock begins then. And that's because of the Ministry of Health regulations around these. But like Wasim says, we can have that conversation with your doctor in consultation and look to extend your follow-up timeframes to 6 months, as long as you're stable, and especially acknowledging that you're a low user.
Yeah,
we've got one here from Richard. I'm finding this journey very interesting. I was prescribed 24% to 27% for the last 2 to 3 years, 3 grams a day, no tolerance break. Now, 2 weeks later, I've finally given up, but man alive, I feel like a crack addict giving up. I'm reached out to you guys but no support in giving up. So, Richard, feel free again to reach out. I'm sorry that we've missed that. And I appreciate that, withdrawing from THC is a journey. Full acknowledgement and power to you on that journey. The thing about THC is it's not so addictive in nature, like, say, nicotine, when we get chemical withdrawals. But it is very habitual, mind over matter, and the symptoms that it was relieving become even more apparent when we haven't got the symptom relief coming from the THC. So, whether that be your sleep pattern, and as we know, sleep's everything. We don't really recommend going cold turkey for that reason. The best way is to reduce your usage slowly. And then there's a real place for CBD when you're going through THC tolerance with withdrawals as well. So please do reach out to our nursing team, clinical at cannabisclinic.co.nz, and they'll be able to support you in that space with clinical advice.
Nice, thanks, Shannon, and a big shout out to all our teams and our nursing team. They put so much care and effort into what they do, and a shout out to everybody. And I hope that that's felt through what we're doing. And certainly, if there's any areas that we've overlooked or things that have fallen through the cracks, we want to hear about it, guys. So please keep the comments coming in terms of how we can improve, what we can do to further support everybody, help more people. Please share. And a quick reminder, guys, on Instagram, we're having some issues seeing your comments. So jump onto Facebook, onto YouTube. That's where we can see all these comments, and we'll try and answer as many as we can. So if you're on Instagram, you can keep watching, but we can't see your comments on there. Alrighty, Kiwi Beard. I wish I could grow a beard. My one's a bit patchy when I grow it, hence clean shaven. All right, is it harder to sign up with you if you're on the government opioid substitution program? Good question. I would say Kiwi Beard, I would say it would be a little bit more complicated, because you still have like ongoing things with the clinicians that you are dealing with, but we can still help you out. My encouragement to you is to book an appointment and start the process, talk to the doctor. We're here to support. We're not here to put up barriers. We're here to take down barriers, and we'll try to do our best and help you. All righty. Next question. We've got ASAP Ganja. ASAP Ganja, 420 vibes. Let's do this. While working at Cannabis Clinic, are you guys allowed to use the product? That's a good question. The answer is no. We're not allowed to use the product. We're allowed to be prescribed the product. Have I been prescribed? Yes. Am I a regular cannabis user and have tried everything and onto it? The answer is no, I'm not. But I definitely believe in it. There's no free samples though, so there's no floating brownies or free samples where we work. But it's an amazing place to work, and we're a great bunch of people. Alrighty, Kurt Erickson asks, any chance you guys will have more of a guide in the future on the terpenes and their effects and the strains rather than sativa versus indica. A lot of patients still think that indica equals drowsy and sativa equals high. Yeah, we've got on our dispensary page, which through the clinic, we've got a range of our products, and we talk about the different terpene profiles and the makeup and where that comes from. And so if you haven't had a chance to look at it, and if you are a client with us, please have a look and tell me if that's what you're looking for. If there's information that you think that we're missing, I'd love for you to shoot us an email, man, or drop a comment in here and tell us what you would like to see. That would be helpful, because we don't want to get stuck into that understanding of indica, sativa, and because there's more to it, right? There's more to it than that. Alrighty. Andrew Dingle. G'day, Andrew. Good evening. Is there any chance that CBD oil will be available without a script? There is indeed. Actually, it already is classified as a over-the-counter medicine, but it needs products to be registered to be an over-the-counter medicine, and they've got to go through some complicated clinical trials and an expensive process. So, and funny that with legislation, right? Like the legislation comes with the best intent, yet there's barriers in place that stop it from happening, right? I feel like hitting my head against a brick wall. Maybe I will with this wall behind me, but that's what we're working with, man. And so eventually over time, when, I don't know, but it will over time. Nathan, welcome, Nathan. The pricing is a bit too high. That's coming from a grower's point of view. Are you a grower, Nathan? I can tell you that I can get ounces of high quality around 150 to 250. Okay, for an ounce, that's pretty good price. I grew a very high strain for many years in Australia and would pass it on for next to nothing to my friends because of the price of the black market. To me, this is the only obstacle is affordability. Everything else is very well done. My script is 170 per 10 grams unless I buy it in bulk. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you on the affordability part. The thing is that we're working with is like, because it's like the products have to meet these high requirements, and then there's always going to be a cost to it, and it is all in private healthcare. So yeah, we're doing our best, but it's good to know that from your point of view that's where the price is, and what affordable looks like. Thank you for sharing that. Were you aware of prices like that, Shannon, from your end? Was that your awareness, or is that news to you?
Good question. I think that my answer would be, it depends who you know. I think that's applicable across the street market, right? If you've got a friend that grows, then it's probably only $200 or some koha. But if you're, say, in Wellington buying it off the street, then it's probably $350 to $400. So I think it depends on who you know would be my general response, but full appreciation that, you know, the cost of medicinal cannabis is one of the biggest barriers, and that's something that we're really trying to break down, you know. But, you know, with such high regulations, it comes at a cost that unfortunately does get passed to the user. And you know, I hope to, I like to think, and knowing where I've seen the industry go, you know, it used to be $600 for a 30 gram when I first started, and now you've got 30 grams that are, you know, $300, or, you know, $350. So the landscape has changed, and I think that as more products become available, the cheaper that it will get for our clients. So I guess look to the horizon, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We're trying to make it as affordable as we can. But on that note, Nathan, if you are a legal grower, and if that's what it's going for, man, reach out to us. Maybe we can do something together, right? Make it more affordable together. Alrighty, Amber. I have used CBD flower on a holiday in Thailand through a dispensary, and it gave me better pain relief and helped me sleep better than my CBD THC oil I have been prescribed. Wait, you got CBD flower? Okay. Oh, CBD flower. Okay, got it. And in New Zealand that I take for night use. My question is, CBD oil without THC, is that broad spectrum or isolate? And do the oils and flower work the same for just CBD? Amber, if you had a good outcome on CBD flower, get us to prescribe it to you. We'd be happy to look at prescribing that to you. You don't have to be on the oil. You can also get CBD flower here. And if the question is, are they the same? Then no, they're not the same. The oils and the flower are two very different products, medicines, and you probably get different effects on either of them. Alrighty. We've got Kerry Cooper, who asks, I've been wondering what opportunities and pathways there might be to get into the industry. Kerry wanting to get into the industry. Yeah, man. Look, I hear you on that. It's what are the opportunities? It depends what your background is, man. It depends what your background is, Kerry. Like, what do you do? What are your skill sets? And you know, are you a nurse? Are you in the healthcare thing? Are you administrative? So the best way to go about it is to put your CV out there, to reach out, to put the feelers out there, make yourself known, and because there's nothing that beats proactivity, man. And you know, I have a look at things that come through to our desk and consider it. I do understand the options are not huge, so we do our best. All right, Richard Wilson, 5 nights of zero sleep. Ah, Richard, my man, I'm sorry to hear about that. Extreme irritability, high anxiety, no appetite, intense brain fog, low energy, and mood crashes. I'd love to hear more about what support you can offer people like me trying to get off this stuff. Wait, does that mean that Richard uses a lot of cannabis and is experiencing these things because of that high use?
Yeah, Richard reached out to us before Wasim and shared that he was trying to get off cannabis because it's been a full journey for him, you know, being on high flower strains at 2 to 3 grams to stopping completely. And it definitely sounds like you're going through it, man. And I really feel for you. Sleep then affects our levels of irritability, our anxiety levels, because our fight or flight or sympathetic nervous system ends up in overdrive. So I think that, like I say, I advise you to reach out. We don't advise cold turkey. The best way is to allow our body to readjust to the new norm. But there could be a place for CBD to help, and specifically inhaled CBD. Because there is some research out there that CBD is useful when reducing THC levels. And then the other side is, you know, sometimes we have to ask our GPs for help when we're coming off medications, and that may be just a wee interim period of another medicine to allow you to get a good night's sleep. So there is a place for that when appropriate as well, especially if you're struggling. But like I say, reach out to our nursing team. You can go attention Shannon. And I'm definitely here to support you through this journey because it sounds like you're going through it, and I feel for you on that one.
Yeah, it does sound a bit rough for you, Richard. So yeah, man, I'm sorry that you're having to go through that. And for everybody in the chat, let's get some love and support for Richard, please. Show him the love, show him the support. We're here for you, man. I hope things settle down for you and you get through this, my man. So take care, look after yourself, and we're here with you on that journey, my man. So good luck, and thank you for sharing your story and being open about it. Alrighty, Darren Newton. How do we stand legally when the drug van turns up on site? How do we stand with that when we have a prescription? Oh, look, man. I mean, if you're already self-medicating, you show up positive with the tests, right? So it's the same thing with being prescribed. But what you can do being prescribed is you can front foot it and tell your employer, say, hey, I'm being prescribed or I'm intending to be prescribed. What are your policies? What are you going to do about it? And understand the process. And then you can come see people like us and we can prescribe it for you and you can go that way. Because what you don't want to do is be on illegal cannabis, then get caught out on a drug test, then have to explain yourself or risk losing your job. You don't want to be in that position. Alrighty. Next is Maureen, who says, has there been any further research done into using cannabis for ADHD? Is there other kids with success stories with cannabis? Oh man, I've got a special spot for kids, when we see kids with who are using cannabis and just seeing them improve and having that relationship with their parents. Oh, that's a special soft spot for me. Shannon, have you got anything to comment on this around ADHD and cannabis?
Yeah, thanks for saying, and very much I feel the same. You know, when we see children on cannabis, whether it be CBD, is more so what we use for children. Just to protect their brains. And there is some huge success stories, whether it be relating to seizures or ASD and behavioural issues or ADHD and behavioural issues. We've got a few successful families and children that are using it that describe it as life-changing because of the change in behaviours. There is some research being done into ADHD and the use of cannabis. There's conflicting information out there, as there always is with THC use in ADHD. A lot of us ADHD people, we use THC to get a little bit of relief from the busy mind chatter, and there's further research coming out about that. So my answer would be yes to both.
The busy mind chatter, Shannon. Oh my God. I can tell you there's a lot bouncing inside my head that night. I didn't get to sleep last night at until after 12 o'clock. I had to go down to the beach to try and release some energy and just get that flowing. It's part of the modern world that we live in, isn't it? Hey, Shannon?
For sure it is. It's a huge struggle for many.
Yeah, especially with, when you got work responsibilities and you got life responsibilities and kids and this and that, and you're kind of trying to be all over the place. It's hard, but you got to look after yourself in that process. It's full on. It is indeed. Yeah. We try our best. I don't always do the best job of looking after myself, but I'm surrounded by amazing people like Shannon who remind me to look after myself and be a better person. So I'm lucky to have that. All righty. Duke Smith Holly. Why are the one-to-one oil options in New Zealand reasonably low strength compared to the high CBD, low THC options? Is this based on New Zealand law? One-to-one products are amazing for IBD and Crohn's disease. They're reasonable strength. They're not too low strength. I'd be interested to know what is high strength. But in the oil segment, we don't have too many options, but hopefully in the future we get stronger ones. And the other thing with oil, I'll tell you what, is our doctors get a bit nervous because when it's high strength, because sometimes people would squirt like too much into their mouth or get the measurements wrong. And so you can easily overshoot the mark. And then we don't want people ending up in hospital or having way too much THC. And we have had that happen in the past, unfortunately. Like obviously nobody's died from it or anything significant, but we want to keep it safe. All righty, the next comment that we've got, let's move on to the next comment. We've got Natalie. Just make that a bit bigger for me, guys, so I can actually read it. Natalie Taylor. I've been with the Cannabis Clinic a long time. Thank you, Natalie. I really appreciate your support and being part of what we do. Thank you and welcome. I'm pleased to see that the cost of consultations have come down. Yes, it has. Whoa. And I paid a lot of the high fees in the past. MSD are now offering financial support for medicinal cannabis too. Not all doctors like it. Mine was shocked when I told him. But he went along with it anyway. Oh, awesome! That's good that your GP went along with it. And look, yeah, we're trying to just make it as affordable as we can. And I'm glad that has had a positive impact on your journey. So thank you for that feedback. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being a part of this community. Honestly, it's like people like you who make what we do possible and enables us to help more and more people, because that's what keeps me going. And I know I can speak on your behalf here, Shannon. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I know that's what keeps you going. It's that seeing the positive impacts and helping people, because otherwise what we do is just too hard for what we, the amount of effort and what we have to put into it. I know everybody gives a lot and there's a lot of stigma out there. So thank you so much. Much love to you. Appreciate it. Daniel Holland, I enjoyed the simple procedure to get my meds. However, the doctor's consult was an obstacle with costs. I want to re-engage with you guys again, but I'm finding it cheaper to get an Oz. Is that Oz? Is that what it says? Or
ounce?
Ounce or an ounce? Or an ounce. Here's the cannabis noob pretending to be the expert and saying Oz. Don't clip that on social media, guys. Look at this. Look at this guy with the green hair. All right, getting cannabis ounce on black. Did I just say that? An ounce, ounce. I got it right. So if you're going to clip this, I said ounce. Black market. I need to reread that question again, guys. I enjoyed the procedure to get my meds. However, the doctor's consult was an obstacle with costs. I want to re-engage with you guys again soon, but I'm finding it cheaper to get an ounce in the black market. Yeah, Daniel, have you checked the prices recently, man? Have you had a look? It'd be good just to refresh, see if there's anything new. I don't know how long you consulted with us last time, but maybe things have changed, because we're always introducing new things and changing pricing and doing things like that. We've also got we can also split it up into like interest-free payments. So if that helps, check it out. That's another option for you. and we're doing our best. We're doing our best, mate, to bring that. But I hear you, noted, acknowledged. We're going to continue to push for the pricing while running, the business that we do and trying to make it as affordable as possible. It is actually quite a hard combination to make happen, but it's there. I heard, noted, and appreciated, my man. All right, Haley. Wow, really? MSD supporter. That's cool. Yeah, it's. How would you describe MSD, Shannon? What's your experience been with, MSD? I still call it work and income, but MSD,
I want to say
BPC.
no
Let's go.
comment. I want to say no comment, to be honest. But what I will say is it can be a bit difficult for our clients, and my heart goes out. And that's why I say no comment, because I'm so passionate about it. It can make me want to cry sometimes. Our clients have a lot of difficulty getting MSD funding, but there is a pathway. Our clinic does help with that. So my limited understanding, it's not my domain, is that we need your GP to fill out your disability allowance. You need to be on a disability allowance. You then can have a consult with us. We can provide you all the letters of support, cost summary is what I'm looking for, and the like, and then you can submit it to MSD. Your power has to be strong with yourself, right? Because you've got to be your best advocate, because it does take some advocation. But we have a full dedicated department to help with MSD and ACC applications, because we know there's a need, and that's what we're here for, is to support you to be able to access this medicine.
All righty. Thanks for that, Shannon. Now, we've got about 10 minutes left of this. We've still got quite a few comments. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into a bit of a quick fire session. So we're going to look at the questions and the comments, and we're just going to fire through them quickly. All right. So let's go. Let's do this. You ready for this, Shannon?
Yes. Is there any products with THCV? THCV is a prerequisite for THC, because all of our products are in the active form. The answer, I believe, is no.
All righty. Next, Mark asks, when are you going to do something with ACC? We're already trying to work with them, Mark. We're trying to do our best to collaborate. Some of this is outside of our control. So if you have a specific case, like situation, email us and we can see what we can do to help. All righty. Next comment, Natalie Taylor. The range of products is really good now. Oh, thank you, Natalie, if I'm reading your name correctly. I appreciate it. Thank you for the comment. We're always trying to expand it. Richard Wilson, I believe you are prescribing it. What the heck is that, Mark? CBU, ABU, to people who that really don't need it. Well, I believe you are prescribing it to people that really don't need it. I've alone sent 4 people along to you guys, and you're even promoting send your friends to join us. However, they don't it at all. They just told lies to get the product. How is this controlled? Richard, I hear you, mate. So what we do is we leave the doctors to act independently, so they're making the decisions. We're not a cannabis shop. We're not prescribing. There's no guarantee that people get prescribed. We leave it up to our doctors to make that clinical judgment. But what we do say is we're open-minded, we're a judgment-free zone, and we're here to make that possible for people who do want access to medicines where we think it's going to be helpful. So we're here to facilitate that. All right, I'll do a couple more, then Shannon, I'll drop you a few, and you can go through some. All right, FT Geordie Blitz's finest. That's a solid name, my man. Are you looking at doing anything like Health Now again? Yeah, man, we've got it already up and running with interest-free payments. You have to order through our pharmacy, Lake Road Pharmacy. We are, so you can do it through that. You can get an interest-free payments. Just call the pharmacy up or drop them an email, tell them what your script is, and we can get that sorted for you. All right, over to you, Shannon. Shane, what's up? Over to you.
Oh, wicked. Shot for the affirmation, Shane. Appreciate it. Yes, they've only seen THCV flower in Canada, so that does confirm what I thought. We don't have anything in New Zealand. So appreciate that. Well, let's roll with the next one. Pause fire on that. Is there any other questions, Roscoe? There we go. Yeah, wicked. Thanks for the heads up.
Keep going, Shannon. Keep going. You're on a roll.
Is this stuff good for perimenopause? There definitely is. In short, is my answer. It can help with the night flushes, which is one of the most common, symptoms, as well as the irritability, mood changes, emotional regulation. It can definitely help in that space, and sleep as well, because we know that's heavily impacted as well. I just started on Medleaf GG, so much better now. Life-saving herb, really. Kia ora Winter, we really appreciate that. It is a beautiful strain by Medleaf, so we're pleased that it's helping you sleep, because sleep's everything, okay? Any plans on more affordable devices such as the Volcano? How many people can afford $1,000? Fully hear you. Those desktop vaporizers are extremely expensive and a massive barrier. I can say that there are other vaporizers in the works that come at a more affordable cost. So the answer is yes. Cheers, Dylan. Do they test for total cannabinoids or just the ones that get you high? Oh, that's put me on the spot. It's UG levels, so I believe it is. They are just testing for THC, and THC is the compound that gets you high, per se. I like more choices, e.g. pain relief strain or creative strain. Absolutely hear you on that, Jar. There is a huge purpose and difference across the strains. It is that typical term sativa indica, but as we know, there is more to it than that. Could New Zealand realistically introduce medicinal cannabis cards as semi-solution for roadside testing? I might hand this over to you, to Wasim, see if you want to share what's coming.
Yeah. Our Canna card's back. For those of you who've had it in the past, we're bringing it back by popular demand. So we're going to be bringing that back. Hopefully that helps. It's not, you can use it for roadside drug testing in terms of like showing it to the police. We've got a QR code. We'll be having a QR code on it. And then hopefully over time, like my dream, my vision is that we can collaborate with the police and say, hey guys, like if they have one of these cards, then they're all legit, all good, that, that they have been genuinely prescribed. So hopefully that happens. That's my vision, and that's what I'd like to do. Alrighty, Adam says, oh no, was that the here we go. Duke Smith Holly, is it more effective? Is it more cost effective / benefits for CBD oil versus CBD rich flower for patients?
I might take that one over if that's what you were saying.
Yeah, go for it, Shannon.
Yeah, wicked. There's difference. CBD oil, obviously, as we know, we take it orally. Our body processes things differently when it goes through our belly versus inhalation, which is the way that most people have their CBD-rich flower. It comes down to duration. Oil has a longer duration versus, say, flower that has immediate effect and relief. So I guess the benefits are definitely different. Cost-wise, the oils are more affordable in the long run than the flower. Adam, I have an expired medicinal cannabis patient verification card. Can I renew this card? That is what we're going to be doing. So there'll be new cards that will replace the one that you've previously had. So as long as you've got an active script, then you can get one of these cards once they're live, which is very, very shortly.
Very soon. And Adam, email us. Maybe you can get one of the first ones that come out of the our printer and get the VIP ones. So email us and we'll get you on the list, my man. We've got a list of people waiting for it. Alrighty, Jane, can we talk about usage? What is normal? What is normal? What is normal is what's normal for you, right? What is normal? You've just got to do what's right for you and what you've agreed with the doctor and what's going to be healthy for you. And otherwise, normal is subjective. Define your own. Some people think I'm not normal if I'm being honest. So, but you just got to do what you think is right and what the doctor prescribes. Mercury Moyes, Aurora Products and Community Services card are awesome. 2 years on my medical journey. These are great at 135 for 15 grams. Oh, I'm glad to hear that that's been so well received. Honestly, guys, if I'm being completely honest, I had no idea that that this would have made such a difference. Like I was kind of like thinking, oh yeah, it might help, it might not. Let's just give it a try type of thing. So I'm so happy to know that it's made such a significant difference because like Mercury, what you're saying and other people have rated. So thank you. Please keep the feedback coming. That's what I want to hear. Alrighty. For employment, do you provide a cannabis card or some documentation for HR department? And does this need to be renewed every 3 months? coming soon. Keep an eye out on the dispensary page. We're going to have some ID cards that will help. And do they need to be renewed every 3 months? No. How was it 12 months expire? I think it was 12 months expire or 6 months. We'll confirm about that, but certainly not 3 months. Cat Stevens, nice name. Will we get a more diverse range of flowers similar to Australia's medicinal cannabis industry? They've got some dope flowers. Yeah, they do. They've got like over 1,000 products out there. Man, they have, unfortunately, and please don't take offense, but they've whooped us on that one in terms of the number of products available. And yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there in terms of range. It will continue to grow, and we're seeing it more and more. There's a few. I know some of the suppliers have a few in the pipeline that are going to be really, really cool flowers. Adam says, can we still get medicinal cannabis patient verification cards? Matt, I did not realize that these cards are that in demand. Honestly, like the number of people that have commented on this, thank you for bringing that to my attention. It is now top of mind. So we've got costs, ID cards, community service card products, and CBD oil on community services card, and emphasizing the cost. Noted. Thank you for sharing. Kurt, I don't even know if I answered that last question, but we're picking up as much information as we can. Kurt, what is the monthly limit for patients, and does it vary depending on strength? Shannon.
Yeah, good question, Kurt. In short, the monthly limit varies from patient to patient, and it does also depend on strength. If you're on a lot of high potency flowers, then you may have a reduced monthly limit, but really it's case by case, tailored to your specific needs. Let's keep them rolling. I am having a second appointment with you guys. Is there a way that I can not be forced to have to pay $300 for CBD oil when I don't need it? The lead alone, I think that's meant to say weed alone works wonders. Hey, Matt, I can't speak specifically to, your case because I don't understand the context around it, but if CBD oil was mandatory, then there may be a clinical reason for that. But there's cheaper CBD oils out there that aren't $300, and maybe that's the route that we need to go for you. Appreciating cost is everything. So what I would say is that your next consultation, say you're needing the cheapest CBD oil, and also, talk to the doctor about if CBD is mandatory, why. Yes, Adam, can we still buy the medicinal cannabis card? Like Wasim shares with us, we've got a new design that's coming out. It's going to be live very shortly. We will announce that to all of our clients. I'm very concerned about testing positive. How does that work for Helios CBD 25 full spectrum? Even with a legal defense, I don't want the trouble or the demerits. I fully hear you. The percentage of THC in a full spectrum is less than 2%, probably around 1.5. So you may test positive is the reality, but then you can reach out for support around that.
Richard, seeing your comment, we're trying our best, mate. Ask the question and we'll do our best. But on that note, because we've got quite a few more questions to go, we'll extend for we'll do another 20 quick fire questions, and we'll go through as many as possible. But this won't be one off. We'd like to do more and more of this, more and more of these sessions, and actually get to know the community more. Like I want to understand more of what people need, so I can do a better job of running the clinic and running the pharmacy and running all this and helping more people. Like I'm here to understand and listen and learn at the same time, because I'm also learning, as we go along. So let's do another 20 questions and go from there. Alrighty, Rowan, when will New Zealand legalize concentrates such as rosin and BHO? We are behind Australia in this. We should be able to choose how we consume our medicine. And like a previous question mentioned, taking less vapor product to have the same effect as less harm on your lungs. Yeah, look, it's just literally limited by legislation, and all we can do is advocate, say positive things, and share stories. So, by the way, if you haven't seen it, we've got a campaign currently called Stop the Stigma. You can have a look at it. It's www.stopthestigma.co.nz. And if you haven't seen it, we've got a massive billboard in central Auckland with two massive sneakers hanging off it. It's wild. We wanted to really put it ourselves out there and say, let's address and talk about the stigma, because that will then feed back to the people making the laws, right? And if you go on there, share your story and tell us your story about how cannabis is helping you, what you'd like to see. We're going to put it up on the website and share it, your story. And that's just the voice of the people. So if you've got stories, please put it up on there. We'd like to hear your voice. Alrighty. And if we've got a picture of that billboard, let's drop it in the chat for everybody to have a look at. It's pretty cool. Alrighty. Leslie asks, is there solutions to issues with holdups with medication imported through customs? Yeah, we've done a little bit of work on this, Leslie. We've been having more success. So if you've had problems in the past, try us again. But still, because of the way that we have to work around the law, there are limitations, but we've tried to optimize the process as much as we can. And if there are still issues, please continue to tell us there are issues so it can come to my attention so we can actually do something about it for you. Dick Tracy asks, if the strains of flower have different effects, how do I know which one is best for me? Why don't suppliers have smaller samples for use to test rather than 10 grams at a time? Dick, my man, give us a few weeks on this. We will have a solution for you with 5 gram packs. We're working on this as we speak. So check the dispensary over the next few weeks. We'll have a solution for you, mate. And it's good to know that you're already looking for this. Cameron asked, thoughts about prescribing 5. Oh, wow, 5 gram lots of flour. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you for affirming that. Yes, coming in the next few weeks, coming in July. Mercury Aurora CBD flour should have been with the CSC. Oh, it is already Mercury. Have a look. It is already. Oh, it isn't? Shannon's shaking her head. Have I said something wrong there, Shannon?
Yeah, I think they refer to Equiposer, and it's not covered by the community services card, but full appreciation of we are trying our best to expand that range. So I just wanted to shake my head and make sure we had the right answer there. Adams asked, what's the difference between sativa and indica? It's a hard question, but an easy question. Society has adapted the word sativa meaning daytime and indica meaning nighttime. The reality of that is it's a much more complex landscape. But sativa, like I say, typically uplifting, euphoric, useful for daytime use, creativity, concentration. Indica is typically good for sleep, pain disorders. But the reality of it is it's actually much bigger than just sativa and indica. It depends on the strain. It depends on the THC percentage, the terpene profile, the minor cannabinoids, and all these other little goodies.
All righty. The next question we have from Leach Mango Shake. What is the cost? Why is the cost of various products via Cannabis Clinic dispensary substantially more than other pharmacies such as Wellworks and Chemist Warehouse? Yeah, good question. Look, because what we do at the clinic is, in terms of providing the consultations and everything that goes into looking after our team comes with overheads and comes with costs, and we're trying to, we have to run it so that it runs, it enables us to prescribe safely. And what you get at the end of the consultation and the end of that process, that's what all the hard work that we've put into it. And we're trying our best in terms of, making it as cost effective as possible. And we've certainly got some very cost effective flowers. So if you haven't had a look at the dispensary or haven't consulted with us recently, please touch base. And we can also offer interest-free payments, split it up, try and make it as easy and affordable as we possibly can. BJ Latrobe, was there any recent change in the length of time between visiting our CC doctors between prescriptions? Was there any recent change in the length of time between visiting our CC doctors between prescriptions? Yeah, there may have been made some changes there, but what we're doing now is you discuss with your doctor what your follow-up looks like, and it depends. It's personalized, depends on you. Have that conversation with your doctor. They'll document it, and we'll follow those, whatever you and your doctor have agreed with. Campbell, I would like to know if these flower products are sprayed with pesticides or irradiated at any point. I hope they certainly, so they are, some of them are irradiated and they are sprayed. I actually don't know a whole lot about this. Shannon, can you clarify here? Are you in a position to clarify? Or not really?
My best. I've got a little bit more insight. There is some pesticides present in the flowers. They still all meet New Zealand minimum quality standards, so it is a real low presence. And in terms of irradiated flowers, in order to be approved for inhalation in New Zealand, the medicine or the flower has to be irradiated to be allowed for inhalation. There's a lot of misconceptions around what irradiation means. Gamma radiation is like that scary red one that we all think of. An E-beam, which is blue radiation, which is what goes on with your medicinal cannabis flowers, is just killing off the microbes. There's not enough research out there to suggest that it kills off the THC or the terpene content or anything of the sort. So I've done a lot of research into that space. So I guess I'd say don't allow the misconceptions to shape the way that you think about what irradiation means.
All righty, what we're going to do is we're going to do the last 4 questions for this evening. So Shannon, you pick up the next 2 and I'll wrap up with the last 2.
Beautiful. I am more than happy with Cannabis Clinic, but I see there are more clinics popping up. With more clinics, more chance of getting to where we need to be, right? Good statement, Darren. The reality of it is it's always good to have options, right? We pride ourselves in being the leading New Zealand cannabis clinic with a wicked team, right? Got a beautiful nursing team. Shout out to all my nurses and our client services team and our pharmacy, our shipping, our doctors. I suppose it's probably bias, but I think that we've got a really valuable team and service that we offer to our clients. But choice is everything too. Kurt, what is monthly limit and does it vary depending on strength of the medication? We have touched on this. Monthly limit for controlled drugs, specifically THC, you can only hold a 1-month supply of THC at a time. The monthly limit depends on the person and also the strength of the medication. Work it, I'll hand so this is actually medicinal clinical related, so I'll handle this one. We're saying, so cool to talk to you guys one-on-one. My dad's been diagnosed with cancer. What products would you recommend? Really sorry to hear what's going on for your dad, Stefan. The big C is just the nastiest of the nasties. So our team's sending love to you and your dad during this journey for him. In regards to cancer, there's a lot of research with the use of CBD. CBD is the non-impairing, non-intoxicating cannabinoid. It can really help relieve the symptoms, more so relating to chemotherapy and radiation. But for specific medical advice, I'd say book a free nurse eligibility call. You can find that on our website, and our nurse can provide more specific education for you and your family.
All righty, we've got a question from the last 2 questions here, guys. Carl asked, my elderly mother has osteoarthritis and I feel a CBD product would be good for her, but she's off the idea because of the stigma. Any suggestions on how to educate her? The stigma is real. My idea to you is book an appointment with Dr. Mike. Mike is 83 years old, so he may be older than your elderly mother. And I think that the stigma will drop away pretty quickly once they talk to each other. They'll be on the same wavelength and have the same communication. Book an appointment. But the reality is the stigma is real. So if you haven't already, have a look at the Stop the Stigma campaign that we're doing, because we want to get as many stories out there as possible so that we can share this and address these issues with the stigma. And last question so far is, I have had a great experience with CC so far. Yes, glad to hear it. We try our best and we're always improving. So thank you for sharing that. My doctor it actually makes me really happy to hear it, honestly, guys. And it actually makes me really happy to hear that you've had good experiences. And I love hearing feedback. Like, what are the things we're dropping that we could help and do with? Because then we can take it to the drawing board and actually push it forward and do better. I had a great experience with CC. My doctor was thorough and thoughtful, and I think there are many ways in which I am switching from self-medicated to new and more medical ways to use cannabis and heal. The follow-up care and the focus on other holistic and medical follow-up I have received always keeps me thinking. Thank you so much for your kind comment. Thank you for being a part of what we do. Thank you for supporting us. And on that amazing high note, on that positive note, we will wrap up this evening. I have learned a lot, I must say. Like, it's been super interesting, super fun, actually engaging with everybody here and doing this and hearing what you guys have to say, listening to you, Shannon. It's really helped, clarify what we need to be focusing on. So this won't be the last time. For the record, we know what an ounce is now. So that's we know the abbreviation for that. So that's now clarified.
And for the record,
everybody's learning as Hey, what's that?
I said for the record, I always knew.
Shannon's out of it, guys. It's only me. It's just me. Blame me for it. It's all good. I get blamed for many things, you see. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave the stories for next time around that. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for being part of our community. Shannon, big shout out to you. Thank you so much for putting time aside away from your family and for being here this evening to do this with me and the community. And it's an absolute privilege having you on our team and having your knowledge and your input and your energy. All right, everybody, have a lovely evening. If anybody's got any more things we can help with, please reach out, cannabisclinic.co.nz, lakeroadpharmacy.co.nz, our Stop the Stigma campaign, and we'll see you guys next time. Have an awesome evening and leave you to have a good night. Catch you later.
Kia ora, matewa.